Welcome back to Indie Real Estate Life. I'm Andrea Galvan.
And I'm Tara Ray, and we're with eXp Realty.
Today we are talking about just a few things about the Indy area that we consider to be good and bad things.
From our perspective as a couple of middle-aged moms and realtors that live in the area, and one of us is a transplant. I've been in the Indy area for about 22 years, and then Andrea is a native Hoosier, so we get both perspectives. And we know that there are other videos where people have talked about this. We feel like we just wanted to give our perspective and be as honest as possible, because that's how we roll, and we want you to be able to trust us to help you with that honesty as well for all your real estate needs.
Definitely.
We're going to go through the list that we have of kind of positive things, negative things, and some are really, a lot of them are really subjective. So they may be neutral, so positive for some, negative for some, and these are in no particular order. But we're just going to start with the positives, because that's
the best thing.
We like to be positive.
So one of the things that Indy is kind of known for, and the whole central Indiana actually state is known for, is Hoosier hospitality. I think everybody who has visited the Midwest or even has come to live here kind of learns quickly about Hoosier hospitality.
Yes, and it is definitely, it is a thing, and that's a quote people use all the time. It's not just a made up thing. I have lived in lots of different places, and I find the people in Indiana to be some of the nicest people I've been around. So I guess that's why I've stayed 22 years.
Yeah.
I'm still here and raising my kids here.
And I left and went to Texas for a year, and I came back. So yeah, Hoosier hospitality is real.
One of the first things that I think is really nice about central Indiana is the proximity to other cities, actually. It's really convenient to be able to go for a weekend or even a day. Sometimes we're 3 hours or under to Chicago, Cincinnati, and Louisville.
We also have an award-winning airport that was just put in not too long ago.
So completely rebuilt.
It's an excellent airport, very easy in and out, and it is an international airport, so that's also very convenient for everybody to travel in and out to Indy.
And there is a lot to do in Indy. We attached a few articles below that you guys can check out in the comments. One of them called named Indy one of America's Next Great Food Cities by Food and Wine Magazine, so that's cool.
Yeah, check out Mass Avenue for that.
There's lots of great restaurants and things to do. Lots of culture, sporting events. You don't get bored living here. So check out that, and then there's a cool things to do article, and then we will be doing another video.
Right, make sure to check it out. Subscribe also so that you get an alert when this next video does come out, because we'll go into a little bit more detail into some reasons why it's so fun to live here in Indianapolis. So check that out, definitely.
Cool and fun things to do. So that'll be coming up.
One of the other really positive things about living in Indiana or Indianapolis area is just the cost of living. It's generally a lot less expensive here than in other areas of the country. We are aware of several people who have relocated or are thinking of relocating to Indiana, specifically because the cost of living is so much better here than in other places. Additionally, the tax rates here are a lot less than in other areas as well. So there's probably some folks who could sell a house or two in California and buy up a whole city here in Indianapolis.
Buy a whole neighborhood.
Just because the cost of living is so different than in other areas.
Yes, and we're finding on average like 8 to 12% general cost of living, lower than the average in the country, and then housing is actually 18% lower than the average in the U.S. So that is pretty significant to make your money go further. Definitely a big deal. And then also, you mentioned the taxes being lower. We have a property tax cap in Indiana too, where it's a 1% cap unless your area has passed specific referendums, for schools and local budgets and things like that. So whereas I have relatives in the Northeast paying insane amounts for property taxes, I don't even know what their percentages are.
It's gotta be insane.
We're talking about easily $30,000 a year in property taxes. And if you're
Yeah.
So that's a huge difference as well.
And it's easy to plan for too, you
Yeah.
know, from year to year.
Yeah.
You know your tax bill is not gonna jump or skyrocket through the moon, so it's very nice to keep that in mind. So it's a really strong positive moving into Indianapolis.
And the median home price currently for December is.
Why would I not even think about saying that?
Girl, we're real estate. Was 200. So in the central Indiana, so Indianapolis and suburbs, the median was 280,000 in December. So
That's a little bit lower than it was. We're starting to see a little bit of a trend, but
yes.
I don't think it's that big of a deal
It
yet.
hasn't changed that much in the past few months in terms of the median, and that will vary. I mean, if you get into other counties, you get into Hamilton County, you get into Hendricks County, you're going to be more than that. But for 280,000 being the median, that's not a shack. I mean, that's a home.
Yeah, that's not a shack.
It's not a shack because trust me, I look at real estate everywhere I travel, and in some places that is what you get for 300,000 is a shack. So, so you know that is a home, probably a 3-bedroom or even 4-bedroom home. So, so you know it will be more. You know, if you go to very desirable suburbs, you will be in the 300,000s, some even in the 400,000s as the median. But in the area as a whole, we're still sitting at 280. So good to know.
Good to know. Another great thing to mention is Indy is very well known for having great access to job opportunities as well as educational opportunities. We have some great universities around Indianapolis. We have IUPUI, which is Indiana University, Purdue University at Indianapolis. We also have Marian University that is nearby, Butler University, which is a fantastic university, private school.
University of Indianapolis.
Yeah, U of I, definitely. So lots of educational opportunities really close by to downtown and to the central Indiana region. Also, as far as jobs, we have several Fortune 500 companies like Eli Lilly and Company, the Simon Property Group, the NCAA has their headquarters located downtown. So lots of opportunities there. For
lots of healthcare too.
Lots of
university
definitely.
system is a huge system that people and that's another good point we should mention is that our healthcare is very good. When I was working in healthcare, I had people traveling from all over the country actually to come to IU, especially for cancer treatment and for organ transplants.
Is it Simon? Was that the cancer treatment?
I don't remember the name of the center, but it's at IU. So, and then organ transplants is a thing that people travel. I would have patients from all over, literally. So we definitely have good jobs available in some of these, and then good healthcare too as part of that. And then also IU in Bloomington is only 45 minutes to an hour away. Purdue is...
It's literally an hour north of here in West Lafayette. Education and tons of jobs. Indy is also known as a great remote city for working remote as well from home. So lots of opportunities in the education and career world. So definitely a positive.
Next thing I wanted to mention is one of my personal favorite aspects, and that is the amount of green space and parks that we have in the Indianapolis area. We have a really cool thing called the Indy Cultural Trail that actually connects multiple neighborhoods throughout Indianapolis, and it's a trail that goes through woods, and it's for biking and walking and anything you can want to do. There's a lot of art along the trail, all different types, and it's just a really cool thing to have in Indy. And then a lot of the suburbs also have the rail trails.
Yeah, the Pennsy Trail that's getting ready to come through Greenfield, that's coming in towards the city. So
kind of connect through all of these and connect into that Indy Cultural Trail. And then we also have tons of parks. We have one of the largest city parks in the nation, Eagle Creek Park, which is 1,400 acres of water and 3,900 acres of forest. And that is in the city. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not in the downtown, but it's within city limits.
And there's tons of trails. You can go camping there. You can do day picnics there. You can rent a pontoon during the summer.
Kayaks,
Yeah.
we do that.
Tons of stuff
Kids
that
like
you
to
can
do
do at
that.
Eagle Creek Park for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful location.
Yes, and then also there are 214 city parks within Indy metro area. So that's a lot of that's within Indianapolis. So that's not including each suburb having their own parks. So it's pretty extensive for an urban area. That there is a lot that you can get away. And state parks in the area too. There's nature preserves not very far outside the city. So so
And
that
if
is
you-
a really nice.
If you go down
balance.
south, like towards Martinsville, those areas, it actually has hills down there too.
Yeah.
So it's like the only hills that you can see in Indiana.
Yes.
You go down south towards Martinsville,
Yeah.
especially in the fall time when you
Oh,
can
it's
drive
beautiful.
down there and go up in the hills, and they have lots of parks down there.
Yes.
Some in Bloomington as well, which
Right.
Bloomington is about like 45
Mhm,
minutes, an hour
mhm.
away from us.
And Nashville, Indiana, also
Nashville,
lots
definitely.
of cute little shops and
Yeah.
great parks,
Festivals, all kinds of
breweries.
stuff. Yeah.
So there's a lot of things to do there too. And if you enjoy green space, that's available as well.
Yep. Dog parks.
Oh yes,
For you dog
parks.
folks, lots of dog parks
Yes,
around the city too.
lots of dog parks.
So definitely. Okay, so that's all of the really strong positives, but you have to throw in a little bit of negative as well.
Gotta be
And one,
real.
yeah, one
It's
of
not
those,
all rainbows and butterflies. Indy's the city, so we're going to tell you the
Right.
truth
yeah,
about the things that can be
less than
less
positive.
than positive.
And one of those would be traffic,
Oh, yeah.
potholes in the winter,
Oh my word, potholes.
construction, continuous construction. The
All the
Indiana
time.
Department of Transportation, I think they enjoy keeping those orange cones out for us to dodge
You gotta
all
keep
the
it
year round.
interesting all the time. So yeah. It's fairly atrocious. I will admit that the traffic and the potholes, especially holy moly in the winter. And they do have like a pothole call line.
Yeah, you can
so
call
that
it
you
and
can call
report
and
it,
say,
yeah.
but some of them, I swear, you could lose your whole car in that thing. So I felt like I've bent a rim sometimes just driving around. But
Yeah.
so I guess what we're trying to say is most cities do have traffic issues.
We are not LA, and we are not Chicago.
Right, it's not as bad as the major cities, but you will have some issues with traffic. So recommend try not to have a very long commute. It cuts into your life and people are happier with a
Okay, so that's all of the really strong positives, but you have to throw in a little bit of negative as well.
Okay, so our last true negative, because we are being as transparent as possible, is we are a city. Cities have crime. Indy has crime. And they're always working on it, of course, but it's not great. I'll be
There's
honest,
loss.
in some areas that, there have been some problems with crime. The good news is that it isn't everywhere, and we have never felt unsafe particularly.
Yeah.
We do have maps for you that you can check out kind of crime data, because I think it's important when you're thinking about moving to an area to make sure that you take a look at that and decide on where you feel comfortable. So there's two attached. One is Indy, including the suburbs. One is mostly downtown area, just so that you can look at statistics. And we can help with that stuff in terms of directing you toward resources. So if you're moving here, that's part of our job. Our job is not to candy coat everything and tell you everything is perfect here. Our job is to help you understand the city that you're moving into and then navigate all those resources so you can make the best decision, because we want you to feel safe.
And all in all, I really feel like the positives of Indy and the surrounding counties far outweigh the negative of the crime.
Yes.
I do feel like there are some good strides being made in crime prevention.
Mhm.
So it takes a it takes a village to get those crime things and stats under control. There's lots of task force things that have been going out that are kind of curbing that. So it's like any other big city.
Yeah.
Whenever you have a dense population, you're going to see crime activity. So I don't think it's any worse than, you know, what you would expect to see in another medium-sized city.
Yeah. I mean, we go downtown, you know, we don't feel, we bring our families there, we don't feel unsafe. You know, you be smart about it. You're in a city. You want to be smart.
You always have to be aware.
Be
My
aware.
husband would say, be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
Always be aware of what's going on around you.
Don't make, you know, unwise decisions. And so, but yeah, in general, you know, I think it doesn't interfere with our daily lives in most cases. Yes, it happens to some people, but you know, it's a part of any city. So if you choose to live in a city, it's really a part of any place, smaller areas also, but with dense population, you're going to see crime. So check out our links below that you can take a look at those maps and get to know different areas and where you may be interested. So as you can see, we had definitely more than twice as many positives that we could think of easily. We had like 8 major areas that were positive and only 3 that were definitely negative. We have a couple things that we want to talk about that are kind of neutral, or it depends on your preferences
what you like,
or your
what you don't
situation
like.
or how you look at them, right?
Yeah.
And so one of those was the variety of homes that we have in Indy, right? So we have a lot of price points, a lot of difference in condition, and so some may be like, oh, I would never live in a house like that, and some people would love a home like that. So I think that variety is a good thing, regardless of whether that home or that area is an area that speaks to you.
So another neutral kind of a thing about Indy or the Indiana area is the weather. We do get all 4 seasons here. So we get pretty cold winters, pretty snowy winters. We have pretty wet and rainy springs. That's my favorite because it comes back to life and gets really nice and green. And anyway, won't go on a tangent there. Summers are really hot and humid, 85 degrees average probably. They're definitely humid. You would be surprised. You would think it would be Florida, but it's not. And we're very humid here.
Right.
And then falls are pretty
mild.
Pretty mild.
Yeah, pretty, you know, comfortable, and that's my favorite. And it can get to be crisp and very pretty leaves. We do have, you know, all the colors and everything, and lots of fall festivals. So so
anybody who knows me, I'm like, fall.
You know, that's so
but
funny.
I get the opportunity.
I didn't know that about you. I'm the exact opposite. It is
fall.
my absolute favorite.
Everybody I know knows that they love fall.
Yeah.
They know I love spring.
Yeah,
I love
that's
full life coming
I love
back.
spring too.
Winter can just take a hike.
Yeah, winter can suck.
Spring and summer. If I could have spring and summer all year long, I would be. But anyway, we do get all 4 seasons. So
and sometimes we get all 4 seasons in 1 week.
Yep.
It's Indiana. People always say, don't worry, if you don't like the weather, it'll change in a few minutes.
Yeah.
For example, in the past week, like, it's January, right? But we just had 60-some degree weather, like 65 degree weather.
Yeah.
And in a few days, it went down to the 30s. So, you know, it varies quite a
Or
bit.
when we had when the whole freezing thing came through and it was like -8 degrees and it felt like -30 degrees. And then like 3 days later, it was like 60.
Like 50, 60, yeah.
I mean, obviously that's an anomaly.
Yeah.
But
that's not every day. But we joke about it because, it's never dull. You never know what to expect. The weather will change pretty frequently.
Yeah, and in the springtime, there are, you know, typically strong storms. We kind of are not the Oklahoma of tornadoes, but we do get tornadoes.
Yes.
I've never seen one in my entire life.
I have not either. You know?
I've always been afraid of them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and that's what we were saying, that tornadoes are a thing, and I'm an East Coast girl originally, and I was really pretty petrified moving to Indiana and thinking about that.
Yeah.
I thought it was major, but they are very prepared for that here. We have, really good
Lots of
siren
alert
systems. The alert systems are well in advance for you to be able to take cover, and I thought it might make people feel better who had that same fear that I did, that since 1950, in Marion County, so the main central county in Indianapolis, there have been no deaths from tornadoes, 0. There have been a few injuries, but that's like 70 some years, so like 1950, 72 years. So it is a thing to be prepared for, and we are well prepared for it. I don't think it's something that affects life as much as people think it does. So I've become much more relaxed about that. So knock on wood that I didn't just jinx myself.
Well, there was one a few years ago that kind of was over by an Avon, so not too far from us, but it didn't do hardly any damage, and it was quick and easy, and then we all moved on with our day.
None that we knew of. So
So the last neutral is
depending on what you like, right?
Is we're kind of flat here. We don't have a lot of hills.
The landscape is flat here.
We don't have. We have. We have a little bit of hills, but they just do this and then
dips.
Maybe.
Yeah, southern Indiana is very hilly.
If you want to find hills, you have to go south from here, and it's not too far. Like Martinsville and those areas, Nashville, it's an hour.
It's a couple hours. It's
so it's close, but
yes, it is a little something to adjust to when you are not from Midwest or the West. I came from a mountainous area, and for me, it felt a little strange at first. It was like everything is a strange and flat land, but it's neutral because it depends on what you like. There are many people that really love, the beautiful farmland landscapes outside of the city. So, it's personal preference and just something to adjust to. On the bright side, biking is much better here.
Oh, yes.
Than it ever was when I was on the East Coast and in the mountains of North Carolina. At least for me, I like biking better here. It's fun. So that is our list for now. We hope that you found that helpful. Many more positives than negatives, but we wanted to at least be as honest and transparent as possible. And we did want to tell you that look in the comments. There are a lot of links for the things that we referenced. We have weather links, we have crime links, articles talking about the suburbs, lots of information for you to explore and check out. So make sure that you do that. And then let us know if you have...
ask questions for sure. Definitely send us an email. The email information is in the comments as well. Just send us an email, give me a call, give her a call. We're here to answer those questions for you. So.
And tell us what topics you have more questions about. If there are certain things that we've talked about, or if you have other questions about Indiana, let us know what they are, and we'll cover that in a future video as well. So make sure you like and subscribe. Bye.
Bye.